Hi, I'm John, and this is Ken. We're the hosts of All About Tools Live, an interactive website show on tools. And we were in the studio last night trying to figure out how we could do a test on our 3M guns. Ken happened to mention a little episode where he saw one dangling off the back of a truck. So we're going to do this scientific test, and we're going to attach this to the back of the pickup truck, and we're going to drag it back to our office, and we're going to see if it still works when it gets back. So we've got a Polygun TC. It's brand new. We've actually hooked it into the tailgate of the truck. We're going to drop it on the ground, and we're going to head back to our office and see how it works.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never, ever, after work is over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour.
Just like before, the nuts are worn off and that's it.
Stronger than ever. After hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger than ever. Hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes us stronger than ever. Hour after hour, work is never over.
Well, it looks like the only thing that we could get to break on this gun was the wires, and that was from running it over and stretching it so tight that you can see how much it stretched them, and it snapped them. But we're going to go ahead and put them right back together, and the gun is going to work fine. The highlight of that whole commercial was looking in my rearview mirror and seeing John standing up through Joel's sunroof, holding a camera as we are driving through Jacksonville, and I'm saying, what are we going to say to the police if they see this?
That's it.
How do we explain? Yeah, we drag tools through Jacksonville all the time. That whole thing came from an actual experience that I had seeing one of our trucks with one of our guns hanging out of the back of the tailgate. How it got caught there, I don't know, but dragging down the highway.
That's correct.
The gun still worked and it was fine, so we recreated it for you. This is actually the gun, which we've just plugged it in, so it's just heating up again. As you can see, this was actually the break in the cord. Because we're always concerned about safety here at All
And the
About
only
Tools
reason
Live.
that broke was because it got jammed under the tire, and the tire rolled over it and pulled it and broke it.
That's right.
I don't think it would have broke otherwise.
But it didn't rip it out of the plug.
No,
it didn't rip it out of here.
Right.
You can see the nubs that the manufacturers have on these guns, here and here on both sides, they're completely worn off from banging down the road. A little bit worn on the base of the handle,
Even
but other
the
than
trigger
that,
still works.
yeah, everything on this, it's amazing. The gun still completely works after what we put it through. And I ran it over, what, 3 times?
Yeah, actually three times. We did 2 on the video, but
ran it over. The only thing that I managed to do was I actually cracked the housing right there.
Right.
One of the times, that was one of the pops you heard. So, yeah, these guns are incredible. And I just wanted to go over them briefly. We do carry a couple different guns.
Right.
We have different styles. We do carry the Charger gun.
Yes, we do.
Probably that's
an inexpensive gun.
Correct. That's made by another manufacturer.
Right.
But we sell more of the poly guns than we or the 3M glue guns than we do any other gun.
Right.
Some of the real great features about them is one of the great things I like about the poly gun is just that it's
It's just a durable gun. I mean, I dropped it. I had no problem dropping it out on the. I put a hole in the table. But the guns are, I mean, they're tough. Yep. They'll take an awful lot, and they don't break. I know I have seen these guns thrown, stepped on, drugged, driven over, and they just go and go. So, guys, whether
you can drug a glue gun,
you can drug a glue gun.
What does it do after it's drugged?
Not work well.
You're dripping there.
Thank you. I'm trying to get that under control. I'll change afterwards. Okay. But the great thing about these guns
and that does work, right?
Excessive, as you can see, that's why we're dripping.
Okay. Why don't you squirt a little out of there, and we'll show everybody that it actually does work. Look at that.
It's not through heating up yet. We'll have to let it finish heating up.
All right. I'm sorry.
But that's the TC.
I was a little premature.
This is, and that happens a lot, does it? This is the quad track, which instead of using, this is a John stick, a 2-inch stick. Some of us, this is a quad track stick here. The quad track delivers. I'm losing my throat. I'm recovering from a cold. Bear with me.
We both are, actually.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. But this is a grooved stick, 8 inches long, which allows it to deliver more glue in an easier fashion than constantly feeding in 2-inch sticks. We sell more of this style than we do the TC, the standard TC.
Right, but I don't think this would held up being driven behind a truck.
No, it would not do as well.
It's a little more fragile.
Once again, it's the same exact gun. As you'll notice, it is the same exact gun.
Attachment.
The only thing added to this is the quad track piece, which can be removed.
Right.
And you would just simply have the Polygon TC. So it's still equally durable for the most part.
Right.
But it does take a longer glue stick. Another gun that we offer is the AE2. A little bit different. I don't consider it quite as industrial, as durable as these. These heat up the glue to 385 degrees. This will heat up the glue to 400 degrees. So it'll give you actually a little quicker grab. It'll dry faster because it has a higher temperature. It uses a 1/2-inch stick instead of a 5/8.
Okay.
But it's also an 8-inch stick like the quad track.
So this is like a Ken stick.
Very long. And that's a great, Ken, John. So it is great. One of the things I really want to point out is you'll notice the glues are different colors. One of the great things about 3M, absolutely the great things is you'll hear sometimes comments made about the prices of the polyguns, and that's something that really we've seen for ourselves isn't true. I've heard people say these guns, they're too expensive. They're $150. We don't charge anywhere near that. I believe we're about, $85 for this gun, right about in that area?
Yes, that one's 85, because this one's around 120, right, the quad track?
Yes, I think it's a 125 for that, and I think this is...
Actually, that's what prompted the test, was a posting on Solid Surface Geeks. Mm-hmm. There was a question posed, I need a glue gun, and there was a ton of posts. And, somebody commented that, I wouldn't buy a 3M glue gun, they're overpriced piece of junk. And why don't you buy this other brand for, I don't know, $80, $90? Well, anyway, you know as well as I do that we honestly feel that this gun is probably the most durable gun, best gun for the money you'll ever buy. And there's a lot of glue guns out there, and you can buy, a cheap $49, $59, whatever. But as you can see, this is going to hold up. So to spend $85 on that or $120 on this to have a gun that's going to be there every time you need it,
it's invaluable.
I can't see buying any other gun. I really, really can't. We sell other guns. There's other guns on the market, but I can't see buying anything else other than a Polygon TC or a quad track.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. Now, we do sell other guns. This is a cordless gun, which is always an option.
And that's butane, right?
Correct. But there's nothing like delivering glue rapidly and consistently like a corded gun.
What's the advantage to that gun?
The advantage to this gun is you're not bound by having electricity available. So if you're caught in a situation where you can't plug in, this will certainly take care of the problem for you. You can fire this up. It doesn't have the same delivery rate. However, it does the job. It'll do a job that this cannot do. This will deliver about 4 pounds of glue an hour. which
a lot of glue.
That's an awful lot of glue. An awful lot of glue. This actually, I believe this is actually 3.5 pounds of glue per hour on a TC. On an AE2, it's 4 pounds of glue.
And the AE is actually a lot less expensive than either one of these guns.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
do you think it wouldn't last as long? Is the heating element not as good? Or
I think obviously you can see the body is not quite as durable. I don't think this could endure what this has endured.
Okay.
My personal experience, and I'll tell you, I've been working with polyguns for well over 20 years now.
Right.
The TCs. I have one right now that is all of 15 years old, if not older,
Okay.
and it's still grinding away. They're simple guns, and they just keep going and going and going. And once again, one of the great things, if you need a glue gun, 3M has several glue styles. These only represent just a couple. They have glues that are engineered to work with wood, with plastics, paper, styrofoams, on and on. Every material you can think of.
You can use a hot melt glue with foams. It doesn't melt it?
That is correct. They're engineered just for that. You can use them with paper. You can use them with cloth. It's absolutely amazing. This gun right here, as you can see, it's had time to heat up. And, of course, there's a dot of glue right there. And just to show you what these guns can do, I just want to take my block here. And we'll squeeze it together just for 1 second.
Maybe we'll make a case for this, and we'll have a picture of the commercial, and we'll start a wall in the shop of all these stupid things that we plan on doing for all you people.
No, this was scientific. Stupid, I don't think it's...
We have some questions here.
Here's actually a couple guy, one guy, Peter, and he wants to let us know that he's had a TC for 12 to 14 years and is still going strong.
That's a long time.
Yeah, like Peter, your experience mirrors mine completely. This is an incredibly durable gun, and as you can see, the glue when it sets up, it's not letting go.
All right. Now you're going to use a different glue to glue on buildups for solid surface versus templating, different temperatures. I think really you kind of, there's a formula, but we only sell 2 glues on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those work for most applications. So unless you're really getting into a specific type of glue, specific type of application, you can go with either one of the amber or the clear, and I think you'd be in good shape.
Without a doubt. And once again, this is engineered for plastics. I believe this particular one goes with plastics, metal, and wood.
Right.
So this is a good all-around general purpose. The particular amber that we do carry in stock. Once again, a good glue gun is critical because when you're right in the middle of a job or right in the middle of doing something, the one thing you can't afford to do is to have the glue gun you bought at your local hardware store just fail on you.
That's right.
And these guns have an incredible history. Most guns on the market hope to be what a polygun is.
I had a customer tell me once that the most expensive tool in his shop was the one that didn't work when he needed it. And that's so true. It's just the way it is. But buy a good gun, spend the money on it, and have it there when you need it.
Yeah.
And they do have replaceable thermostats, by the way. That was another question on the site, and nobody was really sure.
Yeah, these guns are so, believe it or not, they're so very simple. Tips, cords, thermostats, everything's replaceable. They're just super, super simple to work with. Last segment, we did, how long should a glue gun last? Oh, there's a good question right there from Al in Lakeland. The glue gun...
What did the last guy just say?
Yeah, his was
10
12
years,
to 14 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
12, I think 12 to 14 years it was. Mine, I've got one that's 15 years old. We used to leave them plugged in all day long, and we didn't have much problem with them lasting. Part of it is how much you abuse them. This gun, I would like to say that we shortened its life, but I'm not sure we did. Right. Because it was fundamentally, the only thing we could damage was the housing and the cord. So I think this gun's probably got a good 12 years at least into it.
I think with the heating elements in them, the way that guys use them, one thing that needs to be pointed out that Ken told me earlier is that he read if you let them cool off when they're in a laying down position, it will damage the gun. You can damage the thermostat, so it's very important to keep it in an upright position when it's cooling. So just make yourself a little holder for it to throw it in on the bench. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But that's going to prolong the life of the gun.
Exactly. The reservoir itself will stay filled with the molten glue as opposed to it laying on its side, and the reservoir will tend to empty out, and so you'll have uneven heating. So yeah, by doing it like that, once again, John's right to bring that
Okay.
up. Excellent.
So they're all great guns. Don't be fooled by what you hear on bulletin boards and different websites. Shop price. I'm not saying we are the least expensive. We hope you buy from us, but you know you don't have to spend $150 on that gun either. Okay. One thing that we wanted to get to after the break or after the commercial that we didn't finish up earlier. This is called a Vario Pro, and this is a hidden gem. I'm telling you. Nobody knows about this. We've sold it for years. The guys that use it love it. When you need it, it's great. It doesn't fit every application, but what it is it's an adjustable profile sander. Have you got a good shot on that? Good close-up? What it is these are spring-loaded nylon blades that are in here, and there's a piece of Velcro on both sides. And what you do is you actually form it to a shape, and then you lock it in to position. So what you would do is you'd take it and squeeze it. Let me give the cameraman a minute to get a good shot on that, because it's really important that you see what this can do. You're going to push that in place like that, lock it down from the back side, and now you've got a fitted profile that is pretty much perfect to that. Now, it's not good for a real intricate design. You know, it'll do soft curves and what have you. But what you'll do now is take a piece of Velcro paper, you fold it right over, push it down into the grooves, hook it on the sides, and then when you sand with this, it's going to fit down in there, and you'll be able to sand back and forth very simply, which is really great. On a piece of quarter round, again, you're going to just loosen it, take the paper off at least one side, push it into the profile, lock it down, and as you can see, you've got the profile right there. So this is really a product that, when you need it, it's really nice to have. There's no doubt about it. We've got another profile sander coming up shortly. I don't know if there's any questions you'd like to go over.
I didn't see any that popped up on the Vario Pro or the hand block, but I have a couple questions for you on this. Now, I know you sold this for years.
Yes.
Now, one of the things I was curious about is I noticed that this is made up of several small, I don't know, what are these, 1/64th
They're like a
of an
nylon
inch?
blade, yeah. Maybe,
little blades.
Yeah, maybe a 32nd.
How many of these have you ever had come back because they failed or not held up?
Never had a return, ever.
And so from that we can assume that they are very durable, because I know that's a problem with a lot of sanding tools. The more you use them, you tend to wear them out quickly.
Right.
But so this holds up extremely well, you would say.
Sure. Now, you know, we were talking, when you and I were talking about this tool, we talked about a bullnose as well, a simple 1.5-inch bullnose. Now, it's not wide enough to do a full bullnose, but you can fit it into the pattern of the bullnose and then go back and forth and move up and down the bullnose at the same time. And what's nice about this is it's long enough that you're not going to get any rolls in it or anything like that, so you can just move back and forth slowly.
And the other great thing about this, too, is even though this is making a concave shape into the block,
We'll go to commercial in just a second here.
this will also do the reverse. If you release this, it'll also go into...
That's correct.
It'll actually go into an inside corner,
We're
too.
going to commercial. I guess we can't wait.